put your hands together for Christine Blackburn!
Hi. Yes, that is true. I have been podcasting for 15 years, and I have made hundreds of dollars. I recently turned 50, you guys. Thank you. And next month I'll be 60. So here we are. People say, you look good for your age. Christine, what do you do? What are your secrets? I don't have any secrets, okay? I get a lot of sleep. I drink a lot of water. I have my eyes lifted, a nose job, and my teeth are capped. But I think it's the water. I think it's the Botox in the water is what I think. I'm also a MILF, and that's a mom in Los Feliz. Last year we had a big year. My kid turned 18. They went off to college. I stopped breastfeeding. Well, it was embarrassing in the dining hall. My kid, by the way, they just came off from college the other night for the Christmas break. So 4 months in school, and I'll say this, they did not learn to cook. My kid is non-binary. You'll hear the they, me saying they, etc. And when they told me that, I was on board right away. I went around the apartment and I put mustaches on all the baby pictures. That's the kind of mother I am. I also have a lot of testosterone, for sure. I have 4 older sisters. So I was supposed to be a boy. I mean, you could imagine my parents wanted a boy, you know. My father called me Christopher his whole life. And my mother had me circumcised. But the point is this. I do have a lot of testosterone, and I'm kind of like a guy sometimes, you know. Like I like to be outside. I like sports. I camp. I rape. Well, look, you girls in here, you ladies, you back me up. We rape. I'll tell you right now why we rape. It's what you're wearing. Yeah. That hot baseball cap, flannel shirts, shitty tennis shoes. You guys want it. So look out when you're walking back to Ross Dress for Less tonight, because you could get jumped. By the way, it's very different now being a kid. My kid last year, when they were 17, they went trick-or-treating at Halloween. I swear to God, 17 years old. When I was 16, I was fucking the manager where I worked. At the Conley's Motor Inn, where I was the lifeguard. I was getting pumped in the pump room by the manager, Kurt. By the way, he was 21, I was 16. Now we call it rape. But back then, it was called going to work. Is there anybody else here who was born in the mid-1900s? I am Gen X, okay? We did not have cell phones. We didn't have dating sites. We had hormones and free time. That's what we had. We didn't have the computers, etc., but we did have mixtapes. And if somebody gave you a mixtape, you took your pants off. That's the way it was. You guys look so young, all of you. How old are you?
31.
31. I have bras older than you. Guys, I used to be a flight attendant, but it was a while ago. I flew for the Wright brothers. Are you familiar? Now, it wasn't that long ago, but I did fly during the Bush administration. The first Bush. I mean, the second Bush. I mean, when I had a Bush. Now, I flew for U.S. Airways. Did you ever hear of U.S. Air? Some people call it U.S. Scare. I don't know why. I was only in 4 accidents. In a week. On the tarmac. The point is this. I flew for 7 years and then I resigned. You know why I resigned? Because I found out I was never going to be the pilot. That's a different job altogether. I flew for 7 years and there are 48 states I'm never going to again. Back then, in the old days, swear to God, we had cash, a ton of cash on us because there were no credit cards on the plane. You believe that? No credit cards. So you'd be collecting for alcohol or whatever, you know, $5, $6, $5. You put the money in your pocket, in your suitcase, in your purse. You'd fly for 4 days, get back to your base. You'd easily have $1,000. Then now you have to turn in. You have to turn it in. I'm not saying flight attendants stole money. I'm not saying that. But I have a boat in Marina Del Rey. And I named it Headsets. I used to fly on the red eyes a lot because on the red eyes people sleep. You know, I mean, that's the idea. Now, if you can remember, you might be too young, I'm not sure, but at one point in time, everybody on the plane had to watch the same movie, like animals. And a lot of times during the red eye, I would say, ladies and gentlemen, we apologize in advance. There'll be no movie tonight. The VCR is broken. There'll be no movie tonight. The VCR was never broken, you guys. We just didn't want to see Daddy Daycare again. You see? So we told you that. We wanted to be in the back alley. We'd pull the curtain, because there used to be a curtain. And we would take this meal cart. We actually used to have meals. And we'd put the cart on its side, and we'd put blankets around, and we'd sit in a circle, and we would gamble and play poker with your liquor money. That's what we did. And we had a blast on overnights, because, you know, you'd be in a different city, and you're drinking, and, I mean, there were some rules. There were some rules, like, you weren't allowed to drink 14 hours before the flight. But a lot of times we'd be out, and it'd be like, wait a minute, was that 14 hours before the flight or 14 feet from the plane? Hard to remember. Yep. I stopped drinking, guys, about 2.5 years ago. Yeah, it's very exciting. And I do notice things, like every day, new things are happening. Like, for instance, I have more room now in the refrigerator. I have less recyclables to take outside. I haven't shit my pants all day. So it's a good thing. I don't know about you guys, but I'm full of ideas. Okay, I'm an idea girl. I got ideas. You guys got problems. I have ideas. And here comes one of my ideas. I do not like the unhoused situation. I think it's very sad, especially in our wealthy country. We really should not have unhoused people. So here's my plan. All right, right now in America, I swear to God, we have 4 panda bears. There's 4 panda bears in the United States, 2 in DC, 2 in San Diego. We do not own those bears. They are on loan from China, $1 million a bear per year. Okay, so we save $4 million right off the bat. Send the fancy bears back. Send them back. We don't need a fancy bear. I'll tell you what we do. We take the common black bear, and we dye it half white. Is that anything? Okay, stay with me. We take chicken wire, we form it into the shape of a bear, and we tie skunks all over it. Is that anything? You have to think, people. You have to think. One last idea. We take the unhoused people, put them in panda suits, and we put a fence around them. I'm not going to leave on that. Shit. You guys have experience. That's what I have. Experience. You know, you get to be this old, you better have experience. I've been married twice, divorced twice. I've even committed some crime. I mean, light crime, not heavy crime, light crime. Like, okay, like before weed was legal. You know, like I bought weed, I sold weed, I fucked a kid. You know. Thanks, you guys. Let's